Okay. All right. To the people watching this recording, I'm sorry. I started late. Better late than never. Okay. So on the bottom here, this is the speed of your clip. Now I want to warn you, you're going to want to turn the volume off on your clip whenever you mess around with the speed, because you are distorting the audio when you change the speed. But first, let's change the speed. I am currently at 1x. Oops. By dragging this.
You'll need to click continue because it's blocking my vision of what you're doing.
You can click continue.
Oh, I can. Okay.
Okay. So this this makes it go from 2 times faster to 1/6 the speed. So slow-mo, and the fastest on the phone and the iPads is twice the speed.
Okay.
Now I have a workaround for that if you wanted to go faster. It would mean like in the iMovie, you bring it up to twice the speed, then you export it, bring it into a new iMovie project, twice the speed again. Now you've got 4. It's cumbersome, but you can get it to go faster that way.
But hopefully you'll address, because I did several high-speed videos of demos during distance learning, but I wanted to be able to voice over, and I didn't know how to do that.
Okay, yeah, we will definitely be doing that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so I'm going to come over here to the audio, which we had speed. Oh, before we leave speed, let's go back to speed. Other choices you have in speed. Oh, I keep forgetting which machine I'm on. Other choices you have in speed are freeze. Now, this is, oops, sorry. Okay. So this is what freezing looks like. So it just makes it freeze. Now, why would you do that? If you're doing a little kid video and you've got like a bunch of birds at the park, how many birds are there? But the birds are moving around, right? You'd freeze the video and let the kids count the birds. So that would be a time. If you were looking at a butterfly and it got a good close up, you might want to freeze it. And then we could add your voice underneath talking about something. So that's why you might want to freeze. And then the other one is add. So I'm going to come over to a different clip. Okay. So what add does is, like, I might want to speed it up, right? But then I don't want the whole clip speeded up. So I'll do add. Oops. And then it lets me do the time for the other part, which I might want to slow it down. And I'm going to maybe, whoops, let me move over the, whoops. And then, I'm having technical difficulties, sorry. Okay, and then I might want to come further down the clip and add it. And here we're going to speed it up again. And what that would look like is,
I'm in the eel.
I don't think you can really see that because it was so short, but within a clip, you can put multiple pacings without having to split the clip up. And that's what the add button does. And then I could just reset it and get it back to completely normal there with the reset button. Am I going too fast?
Just to clarify, the add is just if you want to add different speeds within one clip.
True. Yeah. Now over here, I have the volume button, and I can go all the way down to 0, and I believe the highest, 500. So what you'll find is, like for me, when I was videotaping her, because I wanted a better, I didn't want to be so close to her, but my microphone was really far away from her. So when you're doing locations like this, many times you're going to need to increase your volume once you get into the editing mode, because she's too far away from my microphone for me to hear her properly. And then other features down here. Okay, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to go to the last one first, which is filters. I don't really use these, but they're available to you. And your whole clip will get that filter on it. Now, I'm going to go to the beginning of my timeline, and I'm going to go to plus. Now, I have this black photograph in the corner because iMovie for iPad and phone does not give you a background for your title, which you need, because they, I think, want you to put it on top of either a photo or a video clip. And I would disagree with them. Like, it's hard to read it on those. But if you like it on top of a photo or video clip, that's what they think. I personally take a photograph. One sec. I'm just going to mute real quick. Sorry. I take a picture of my palm up close just to get a black photograph. So I'm going to choose my black photograph. And I just like to have a black background for my titles.
Claire,
Yes.
I'm sorry. I looked away when you said you were going to hit plus.
Yes.
I don't have a plus.
So you're in your timeline, right? And you're looking at your clips.
Mm-hmm.
Underneath that
camera.
underneath the preview mirror, do you have a plus?
No, I have the
Single window.
arrows and the back arrow, but on where the plus is, there's a microphone and a camera. Should I try the camera?
No. Sure. I think it's going to start taping you from your camera.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yikes. How do I go back? Okay, cancel. Okay.
And if it gets rough enough, you might want to join me in Zoom on that device so you can let me see your desktop.
Okay.
The other option is you could try holding it up to the camera.
Oh, there was a plus in the top corner, right?
Oh,
corner.
yeah, you found the plus. Yeah.
Thank you.
So by doing that plus, I was able to get this black background. Now what I want to do is put a title on that. So I'm going to click on my black background. Now, since you guys don't have that, just choose a photo or something if you're doing it with me. And down at the bottom, I want you to find the letter T. That's title. Now, as an iPad, iPhone user, you have limited choices, I'm sorry to say. But these are your title choices. I like pop-up, which is the last one. You don't get to pick the font. You don't get to pick the color. You do get to pick if it's in the center or lower. Do you see center and lower over there? That's how you choose that. I like it in the center. Now,
Oh, whoa, that was like multiple.
if I click up in the preview mirror, now I can type my title. I just clicked right next to where it said pop-up. I'm going to delete their text. And you can't see this, but it's an animation. These letters are going to move around when you hit play. So I'm just going to do bubbles. I don't know. So I type my title, and I really don't have any control over anything. Not the size, not the color, not the font. But I'm done. So I'm going to click done. Oops, I shouldn't have clicked done. I'm going to go back into my project. I shouldn't have clicked done. Sorry. When I fell out of my project to get back in, I click edit. So I'm going to go back to the beginning of my timeline and look at, see how that looks. Now, what I'm seeing is it's way too long. Say again? Oh, that must have been my movie. To make my title shorter, I just click on that black box and pull it in. I don't think my title should be more than like 3 or 4 seconds. So I'm going to adjust the length of my title by dragging it like this. and then see if I like it better like that. I'm gonna have music playing behind this. Oh, this should be, volume should be down. What's going on with that? Okay. Am I going too fast?
No, I'm just trying to type my title here.
I'm just gonna make sure my volume's turned off better than it is. Okay. Oops, cancel. Okay. So I'm gonna move ahead. We've got a title. Now I've been chopping up this one clip, but mostly you're gonna put multiple clips together. So I'm gonna get to the end of my timeline and I'm gonna click that plus sign, go back into albums, get back to my video editing album. And I'm gonna put in another, I'm gonna choose another video and then hit the plus sign. And that lines up in my timeline. I'm just gonna add a couple of videos real quick. I'm gonna have to wait because I have to download it from the cloud. So this is how you put multiple different videos together. You just add them to your timeline. And the next thing I want to show you is if you can get right between two of your video clips, you'll see this little sideways egg timer kind of thing, two triangles pointing at each other. That is a transition. When you click on it, you can see I have a choice of a few different transitions. None. The one is that the star is connected to the theme if you've chosen one, which we haven't, so it would be a star. I use dissolve because that's the nicest to the eye. But you could have a slide and a wipe and a fade. And on the bottom, you can say how long you want that transition to last. If it's going to be 0.5 seconds, nobody's really going to see it, which is fine. But you might want them to see it. So you'd want to pick a longer duration. And then you can just see how that looks. That didn't really look very good. It didn't look like anything. I'm going to try the slide. Yeah, the side you could see a little bit better. So those are your transitions. Now, when you're doing editing, you are going to want a transition of some kind between almost anytime you've clipped something or there's a separation of clips, you're going to want a minimum of cross dissolve. Unless it's smooth, unless like it's like your body, like just look at it. And sometimes it's okay without a transition. In fact, a transition will make it look more obvious. So play with it, but like if you just cut out like one word you said, you might be able to get away with that. So some other things I want to say to you as advice is when you're videotaping, and I'm going to stop sharing for a minute so we can see each other. Oh, I'm over here. There we go. So when you're videotaping, you're going to make mistakes and you're going to have multiple takes. I highly suggest that if you have a bad take, delete it in the moment. And it's kind of like you might be thinking to yourself, I'm in the camera mode. I'm not going to delete it. I'm just going to stay in the camera mode. But this little moment of deleting it now will save you minutes and minutes later because all your clips are going to look the same. And now you have to watch them all to figure out which are the good ones and which are the bad ones. Also, I've taken to not stopping. I just keep recording. And then, and that's an option. I'm going to mute for a second and call. So because of my disability, my thing is I choke a lot and I cough. So I'll be taping and then I'll be like, oh, I can't talk because I'm coughing. So what I do is I do this as I'm coughing, which is hard enough to cough, but now I'm doing this. But because when I'm in iMovie later and I'm zooming through these previews, I'll see this and know you're supposed to cut this part out, And then the last thing is try not to curse. I don't know if you curse. Pamela, I don't think you curse, but I do. And so when you're videotaping and you mess up, you're going to want to say, but God forbid that accidentally gets out to the kids, right? Like I'm trying to get myself to take this rule of when the camera's rolling, you're not allowed to, no matter how much you want to, you can't. So those are my bits of advice. Before I get back on sharing my desktop, any questions so far? Is this working for you guys to do it like this?
Yeah, I'm like starting. I just have to figure out how to add on another clip on here.
Okay, so let me do that with you. Oops, hold on. It says me I'm leaving the meeting. Oops, no. Continue. Okay, let me get this broadcasting.
I think I have my title and a first clip. I just have to figure out how to put on a new clip.
So do you see that plus sign underneath the preview window? When you click on that, that's where you get more clips.
Okay.
And I'm in albums, but if you're in the wrong place, you can click up in that corner and get to the right album you want to be in. And then you should be able to find a video and just click on it and then click the plus sign. And it'll show up in your timeline. Now, I would suggest you one thing that I've learned in trying to do this, you can pick up a clip and move it on the timeline, but it takes so long to get to the end of the other clip that I think some ways, like what I learned, it's easier to just delete it, go to where you want it in the timeline, and then add it again. But you do have the option of dragging things around and moving them.
So like when we added the title photo, we made sure that we were at the beginning. When we add another clip, we make sure we're in the right spot for it.
Yeah, and you'll save yourself time that way. Because dragging things around on the iPhone and iPad, that's a glitch in their system, I think. It's not fun. It works, but the clips are so long, it takes forever. And then you try and go fast, and then you go too fast. And
you recommended how long for the dissolve? Like a second or 2 seconds or?
I just go with the standard that it comes with, which I think is what, 0.5?
Okay.
I'm not sure. Yeah, it's just to give a nice smooth transition to the eyeball, but I don't like to play it out too much. So, one second. So, I just got confused about where I was. Cancel.
Claire?
Yes.
It's Bobby.
Yeah.
Just a quick question.
Yes.
Pamela often sends me videos. But the way that they get sent to me is via email. I
Yeah.
found that in Gmail that they limit the size of the clip that they send that you can receive.
Yes.
What's the workaround for that? Is there, do I have to hard copy the 2 phones? I mean, what is the workaround for something like that?
There isn't much of a workaround. These are the 2 I can suggest to you. You can't email them. That's not going to be an option. That's not, but you can share them on Google Drive.
Okay.
And that works. And then you could make a YouTube account.
Okay.
And privately post it on YouTube so that only people with a link can see it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's been what's been going on with me. When you start making long enough videos that you can't share them, the best you can do is share a link to them, either a link on YouTube or a link on your Google Drive.
Okay.
Those are the only things I think.
So, Claire, the video you sent in the email,
Yes.
I ended, I somehow I got in my files on my iPad, but it wasn't clear. There was no download. My own videos I could download to the device, but
Yeah.
I don't know. But if I have a video in my drive, I still have to get it onto my device. Is that right?
Yes. It has to be on the device. Yeah. Now that video, I'm not going to use it today. I'm going to use it tomorrow.
Okay.
And if you can't get it, I mean, it's not the end of the world. You can practice with one of your own video clips. But I just wanted to show you how I use, with that video tomorrow, I'm going to be showing you how I speed stuff up and turn off the volume, because like I have 9 minutes of me coloring something in. So that's not that interesting.
I watched
me,
it.
It's interesting to me, actually.
I said, wow, I know how to speed this up.
Yeah, so what I do is first I speed it up, but then that's not even enough. Like I then have to go in and take out big chunks from the middle. And when you have something speeded up, you do not use transitions. They don't work in a speeded up, chopped up clip. But I was going to take you guys through that tomorrow, because I do that a lot in my baking videos and in my arts and crafts videos. So I'm just going to remind you for transitions, we added these clips, and you'll see between two clips, let me get there. I shouldn't have gone this far. Let me go back. Between two clips are these little boxes with a vertical line. If you click on that little box, those are your transitions. And when you choose a transition now, because I sped up the clip before it, you can see I don't have a lot of choices. I guess I could do this star one, or I could do the fade. If your clip is too short, or if you've changed the timing on it, you won't have access to all the transitions. And it looks like I don't even have a choice on times. Down here, it just has that one time. But that'll give me that transition.
I'm in the Eel River.
It wasn't much of a transition. Okay, so I've done that. All right, now, how am I doing on time?
You're okay.
I have 15 minutes, good. I want to take you through adding audio. So let's click on that plus sign again. And let's click back. And let's get out to where we see moments, video, photos, albums, and audio. I want you to notice just now, we'll look at it again later, voiceover is down there.
Mm-hmm.
So when you want to do that, that's how you get in there. But we'll go over that on another day. But today we're going to click on audio. And the good news for you as iPhone and iPad users, you have the best audio, much better than the laptops. So my music is a bust. You can use iTunes. It's a waste of time. You don't have the license to use any of that music, so they won't let you use it. Sound effects are your standard boing, barking dog. I do use this because, like, if I tell a joke, I like to put a little boom. I enjoy it because nobody's laughing at my jokes unless I put the cheering crowd in there. I could put booing kids. But where you really want to go is up into these soundtracks. This is some nice music in here. And I won't tell you, I mean, I could tell you what my favorites are. I like the retro section. I really enjoy many of the things in the retro section. And I like the pop section or the playful section. I like a lot of stuff in here. So I'm gonna choose a retro, I think. Like I really like, I'm gonna take my earphones off so you can hear this. Let me know if we have distortion. Hopefully this won't work out that way. Let's see. Isn't that nice? Very nice, right? And this one? Yeah, it's all very, very good. So, unfortunately for the people on their laptops, they don't have this. So sad. Um, and also, yours are much longer than theirs. Theirs will only last for 2 minutes and 16 seconds. These just keep going and going. So I'm going to choose one and I'm going to click plus. And then it winds up as a green stripe at the bottom. Now, my experience, and let me see if I can get this speed back to normal on this. Hold on. I'm going to delete this clip because I messed it up so much. All right. So what it does, and I'm pretty sure it does this on the iPhone, it will lower the volume when a clip starts going with someone talking. So let's see if that's true.
I'm in the Eel River, and we're at the Standish Hickey campgrounds. It's such a beautiful place, and there's little minnows swimming at my feet, and it's so beautiful here.
Now, the movie doesn't know that there's nothing happening there, but you did notice it lowered the volume of and if I wanted to increase it for this part where we're looking at it, what I can do is click on the green at the bottom and do split, and then get back to, let's say I wanted it to be quiet again over here. I click over here and do split. Now for this middle section, I'm gonna increase the volume. So let's see what happens. But the iPhone is going to help you. Like, it's such a wonderful thing that it lowered the volume when she spoke automatically. Like, for me, that's so good. Yeah.
Oh, I hit the green box between two sections. Do you hit it right on the box where the split is? Oh, it doesn't matter. You can do it anywhere.
Yeah.
And then once
So you put the playhead where you want it to be split, and then
you hit,
you
you
click
have
on
to
the
split it with the
scissor.
scissors?
Yeah. Then you click on the scissor and then click split.
Okay.
Yeah. You need the playhead to be exactly where you want the split to be.
But will it, like, I'm looking at it, so now it's split, but I haven't chosen the volume for each of those spots, but I can.
So they are the same volume. All you did was split it and nobody would even notice it.
Okay.
Because there's no transition. You haven't changed the volume. You could, but you haven't yet.
But in one section I'm talking, in the other it's high speed, so hopefully it will figure that out, or I can adjust it.
Yeah. Yeah. And then again, like what I just did is I had manipulated that one so badly. It's okay to just delete it and bring it back in as a fresh piece, because sometimes that's easier, you know? If you get into over editing and you mess up something, you can bring.
Or
just,
one last question.
yeah.
Or if I want where I'm talking,
Yeah.
I can just turn off. I can, since it did the whole video, but I can click on the first part and just delete the audio for that part.
No, because the audio is always going to jump to be next to it. So you'll cut some out, but it'll, like, try that and see what happens. Here, I'll show you. So I split it here and I split it here. Now, if I click delete, it didn't leave an empty space. It just filled it in.
Okay.
So you need to leave it there, but turn the volume down.
Okay. Got it.
The other thing you'll notice with this is when you start doing this, it's best to let the computer do it, because the computer does it the nicest.
Okay.
But when the computer's doing the wrong thing and you need to change it, it will change the groove of the song.
Okay.
Sometimes it'll start the song over again. The splits actually affect what it's playing in the song. I don't know. But you'll see as you play with that. The other thing I want to show you, which is important with this, and I'm going to get, so on this audio clip, if I go into volume, at the end it says fade. It's either going to say fade or trim. When it says trim, I would click on it to be able to trim it. When it says fade, I'm going to click on fade so I can fade it. Now, fade is these two yellow triangles, and I drag them in, and that gives you a ramping up of the sound and a ramping down of the sound. And you could do that either in the audio track, but you can also, can you do that? Let me see. Even on a video track, if I click on it, no, I can't. I can only do it in an audio track. But as I said, we're going to talk about detaching audio. If you detach your audio from your video, you can also fade that audio. So when audio is attached to a video, you can't fade it, but when it's not, that's a tool that you have. Let me just check my time. Okay, we have 5 minutes. Cancel. Okay, so I've talked about, oh, okay. I want to look down here. Let me just cough real quick. All right, I want to look down here. You have the option of putting that music into the foreground. And when it's in the foreground, it shows up as a blue strip. So this is what it sounds like in the foreground. The problem here is I have two musics going at once. Hold on. Let me get rid of this. No, it's not gonna let me do that. All right, let's see. All right, let's try that.
I'm in the Eel River.
That's so weird. All right, when you put it in the foreground, you must get rid of the other one.
I'm in the Eel River, and we're at the Standish Hickey campgrounds.
So you could see it did not modify itself as a response to the video clip. And that's what happens when you put it in the foreground. If you wanted to go back to the background, click on it, and it goes back to the background. So that's another option you have. You can also duplicate it and delete it. Trimming it just means pulling the ends to take that part of it off. Yeah, so let me see if there's some other things I wanted to tell you about. So I want to point out down here, I don't know how much time I have, but this little sprocket in the corner, those are the settings. Now, there are some themes that you can use, and the themes will decide what your title will look like. So let's say I did the playful theme and then I click done. So now, if I add a title to this, let's see, maybe not, no. Nope. Let me see if I actually got that theme. It doesn't look like I did. Hold on, let me try again. Themes, playful, theme soundtrack. All right, hopefully that sticks. Nope. All right, I'm gonna have to play with this. For some reason, it's not keeping the theme that I'm choosing. Hold on.
I'm in.
Yeah, I have it on playful. Okay, I think I kind of stumped myself for a second. Stop sharing. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm going to play with that settings for the theme so I'm not stumbling over myself tomorrow when I'm trying to tell you about it. Yeah, so what I'm thinking of is that I'd like to do is have you guys actually work on something we feel comfortable showing each other tomorrow in class, because pretty much I've showed you a lot of the features already. Like, that's pretty much it, but it just takes practice. I have a few other things that I'm gonna have ready to share with you tomorrow, but we will probably get to the point where I don't have anything else to say. And so the option is we might not do all 4 days, or I'm more than happy to just be with you while you're working on something together, and we take turns sharing what we've done, or maybe not even sharing if you don't want to. I don't know. I'm open.
So we should sign on. Go ahead, Pamela.
Well, I'm actually running a tutoring business this summer on Tuesdays and Thursdays. So I wasn't sure if you were just doing, you know, a one-shot wonder today, and then we're gonna have, you know, like office hours later, or how you were gonna do it. So because I'm working till noon tomorrow.
Yeah, so just come on Monday and Wednesday. That'll
Okay.
be fine.
I can't make it on Thursday either.
That's fine. Yeah, I don't even know if I have enough content for Thursday. I just wanted to give myself enough time, like if the groups were big and if people wanted me to give them more, like some people need a little bit more time.
Yeah.
So I made it big enough so that was there if it was needed, but I don't know if we need it. But I will definitely be back tomorrow with some new stuff. And Pamela, I'll record that in case you want to look at it.
Yeah.
And then we'll make a plan at the end of tomorrow for where we go from there.
So tomorrow, it sounds like it would make sense to sign on my iPad so that I
Yeah.
can. Okay.
Yeah, because I'd love for us to, you know, because I know people are like, it's too hard to watch me and do it at the same time for most people. So, but I just want to be available to you, because I get the sense a lot of people are like, okay, I'm writing all this down. I'm going to practice it tonight.
Yeah.
I kind of want you to practice it when I'm here, because there's a lot of little glitchy things which can really take the wind out of your sails. Like, yeah, I know there's all this cool stuff, but if I can't get a clip in the timeline, what good is it, you know? And I definitely smashed my head into the wall while learning this. So if I can give you a quick answer to your questions, maybe that's better. Anyway, but I'll be here tomorrow.
Great.
Right on.
Thanks so
Yeah,
much.
like even just like having, you know, a few things where I was like, wow, okay, I just made a tiny movie.
I know. And we're also going to be,
I was like, cool.
yeah, and I'll also walk you through the upload to YouTube and the features on YouTube. There's some nice features on YouTube that, as a creator, you have access to.
Cool.
Alrighty, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for
Claire.
coming. I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, much love. Thanks.
Bye.